So in this video, I'm going to tell you why you should stop calling yourself anxiously attached, that you're an anxiously attached person, or that you have an anxious attachment style, right? I'm going to explain to you why you should stop calling yourself that. So, an anxiously attached person is somebody who they have low self-esteem and they are considered to be clingy and needy in romantic relationships, and they need a lot of reassurance when they are involved with someone romantically, right? And this is because when they were young, in childhood, their parents were inconsistent. You know, sometimes the parents respond to you, sometimes they don't respond to you. Sometimes they may be distracted, and sometimes they pay attention to you and just like they're not there all the time, they're here and there. It's inconsistent parenting. Like there's emotional distance with your caregivers, or your parent was anxious and they pass it down to you and stuff like that. This is just a brief explanation. I've done a video on anxious attachment style already. If you want to check that out, you could go and check that out. So when you have an anxious attachment style in a romantic relationship, like if your partner start to be unresponsive or they start to move distant, you know, you might start to think that the relationship is in trouble, right? Or your partner start want more space, or they start to behave more like independent. Just they start acting differently. You might jump to conclusions and you might get really frustrated and anxious and want to save the relationship and you feel like it's in trouble. So that's a sign that you probably are anxiously attached, right? And then when you grow up, you could realize that you fear rejection, you get jealous easily, you find it difficult to manage conflict, you are clingy, you are needy in romantic relationship, you fear of there's a fear of being alone, you worry a lot about the relationship, and you prioritize your partner's needs before yours, right? So in romantic relationship, if you have an anxious attachment style, you would crave attention a lot. You want a lot of support. You always want to be intimate with your partner, and you want to fix them. You want to fix their problem. You want to save them. You want to rescue them. You want to solve their problems. That is how you will know that you have an anxious attachment style, right? But in this video, I'm saying we should stop calling ourselves that, right? Yes, some of us, we actually might have an anxious attachment style that need healing, that you need to work on it. Yes, it's a problem. But I feel like it's this attachment style and having an anxious attachment style and knowing about this, or researching this, or reading about this, or diagnosing yourself with this, or whatever you're doing, sometimes I feel like there's a confusion between what is normal and what is having an anxious attachment style. And you might just be normal and not necessarily have an anxious attachment style, right? So we have needs, we have basic needs, we have certain needs in a romantic relationship or whatever, and I'm saying that it's not needy and it's not clingy to want to feel seen, to want to feel heard, and to want to feel desired. That is normal. These are normal needs. These are needs that are not too much, what I'm going to talk about. Like just expressing your needs and expressing your expectations in a romantic relationship should never be considered to be needy or clingy or too much. Right? It's not too much to want to address conflict, to want to have hard conversations, to want to talk about the relationship, right? To want to resolve recurring issues, to want to be closer, to want to build intimacy. That is not needy. That is not asking too much. I feel like this is normal. It's normal to want to feel safe and to want to feel secure in a romantic relationship. It's normal to not want, you don't want to be cheated on, you don't want to be lied to, you don't want to be manipulated. It's normal to want to feel safe and to want to feel secure, knowing that you're not lied to, they're not cheating on you. That is normal. It's not needy, it's not asking too much to just know like where you stand. Maybe you are dating someone and you start to get close and intimate and you just want to know where you stand, what you mean to them. Are you in a romantic relationship and you don't want to feel like your relationship, you could break up at any moment or at any time, right? Feeling safe and feeling secure to share your feelings without them shaming you, without feeling like a burden, without feeling like you're going to upset them. That should be normal. That is not being needy and that is not being desperate to just want to express yourself in a safe place. To just want to know and feel secure that I could go to my partner with anything and they would not be upset. I would not feel like a burden. I would not feel shame. I would not feel guilty if I bring up something that is maybe bothering me or issue or whatever. That is normal needs in a romantic relationship. And we should not think that we're needy and we're clingy and we're desperate just because we want to feel heard, we want to feel understood, we want to feel desired. All of this is normal. And sometimes we think, oh, we have an anxious attachment style because we want to know where we stand in a romantic situation. I'm just saying that it's normal to want to have daily check-ins in the day. To be checked on daily, to be checked on weekly, whatever situation you're in romantically. It's normal to want calls, to want them to text you, to want to catch up with them, to want to reconnect with them, to want to plan dates with them. To have like a consistent communication, to have reliable communication is normal. It's not asking too much to have consistent communication. It's not too much to ask them to or to want or to like daily check-ins. That's normal. Some people like when their partner checking on them throughout the day, 3 times a day. Some people, it depends. But that's normal to want everyday check-in, to want daily check-in, to want to catch up, to want to reconnect, to want to bond. It's normal. It's not needy to want these things. We might be calling ourselves needy, clingy, that we have an anxious attachment style. To want regular physical intimacy, right? Some people, they get in a relationship just to have regular physical intimacy with one person, right? It's normal to want to hold hands, to want your partner to touch you, to want your partner to listen to you attentively. It's normal to want to get kisses, to want to get hugs, to want to spend time together. It's normal. These things are not being needy. It's not that you're needy, you're clingy, or you're desperate, or you have an anxious attachment style because you want regular physical intimacy, or you want somebody to check in on you daily. That's normal. It's normal. It's not too much to ask for reassurance or to like reassurance. We want to know, as human beings, everybody want to know that we're desired, we are wanted. It's perfectly normal to want reassurance, to know that you're important, to know that you're desired and wanted, to know that you're a priority. It's not needy and it's not clingy to want to spend time together. That's healthy and that's normal. If you like somebody, you're in a relationship with them, you are attracted to them, you're enthusiastic about being with them. It's normal to want to spend time together, to plan dates, to ask, to go on a dates with them. That's normal. It's normal to define your relationship. It's normal to clarify like what are we, what is going on. That is not being desperate, clingy, needy, anxious. You want to know where you stand. You just want to clarify like what is going on here. You have your life is important to you. You don't want to waste your time. You want to know where you stand and where is it going, and that is normal. right? And you might think, oh, I'm clingy, I'm needy, I'm desperate, I have an anxious attachment style. If somebody like takes space, especially people who take space without saying anything, that is not normal. It's normal to want to know when your partner wants space. They shouldn't take space, and you should think that you should be okay with that. They shouldn't just take space, distance themselves from you, avoid you, not checking on you, and you should feel okay with that. That is not normal. That is not even having respect. It's good and it's normal to say that you need space, to say that you need a break, to say that you need some time apart, and it's also normal to say like when you're coming back. It's actually disrespectful to just ghost and disappear and not say why you're taking space, how long, when are you coming back. That is not normal. And if somebody does that to you, you should feel upset and you should feel like something is wrong. It's good to give a heads up when you need space, when you need a break, when you need time apart, when you need time to work on yourself, to do other things, to feel independent or whatever. Like letting your partner know you are going for a while, or you're going away for a while, letting them know when, why, and when you're going to return. It's normal. It's normal to want to know that, and that is true respect. It's disrespectful to just take space and not say anything, which I see a lot of men do. Most men do this. Take space, they don't say anything, they don't say why. They don't say when they're coming back. They don't say what they're going to work on. They don't say anything. So if this happens to you when somebody distance themselves, they avoid you, they ghost you, they go missing, they drop off the earth, and they didn't say why and when and if they're coming back, if you feel anxious, that's normal. If you're questioning and you think maybe your relationship is in problem or it's in trouble, you should think that, because it's not normal to just take space and take a break whenever you want and not explain anything. Right? So I just wanted to mention that all of these things that I'm saying, it's not needy. You're not being desperate and you're not clingy and you don't have an anxious attachment style. Some of us, we have an anxious attachment style, right? But it's normal and it shouldn't be considered as you have anxiety or you're needy or you're clingy. If you feel worried or you feel upset when your partner or somebody you're involved with, when they take long hours to respond to you, when they miss a day without talking to you, when the weeks pass and they don't communicate with you, it's normal to feel worried and upset and anxious. That would bother anybody, not people who have anxious attachment style. That they get bothered when somebody take long hours to respond to you. That would bother anybody. We want somebody to like respect us, to have constant communication. If you're interested in somebody, you're in a romantic relationship, you're dating or whatever, you want the person to feel, you would expect that the person, if they like you, they are into you, that they would be excited to respond to you, that they would feel enthusiastic to engage with you. Going long hours when people don't respond, they take a day to respond, they go missing for days, weeks, that would bother anybody. It's normal to feel worried, upset, and confused when people take long hours to respond. And you know, everybody, they always have the phone, most of the time, right? It's normal and it should not be considered that you're anxious or you're needy or you're clingy or you're desperate. When you want to spend time with somebody and they might reject you, they might show that they don't want to spend time with you, right? Feeling rejected and feeling unwanted and sad when somebody don't want to spend time with you is normal, right? when they don't reschedule with you. Obviously, you're going to feel rejected. That is normal, not because you're clingy, you're needy, you have an anxious attachment style, you're anxious, you want too much. It's normal to feel rejected and unwanted when somebody don't reschedule, when they don't make time for you. Some people, they get in romantic relationship to have companionship, to have somebody to do things with them all the time, to spend time with them. And when they don't, obviously you're going to feel rejected. That is a normal feeling, to feel rejected and to feel unwanted when somebody don't want to spend time with you. It's normal to feel unimportant, denied, ignored, like somebody blow you off when they don't respond to your requests. Especially, like, you could be in a romantic relationship. You request something, you want to do something with them, you have a suggestion, you have an idea, which obviously you want to be closer to them, you want to build intimacy, you like them, you want to engage with them. And when they don't respond to your requests, obviously you're gonna feel unimportant. You're gonna feel like challenged, or they're blowing you off, or they're not taking you seriously. Why are they ignoring me? It's normal. You want somebody to respond with you, with openness, with care, with curious. Maybe they might not be able to respond to all the requests, but they might be curious and they might try, right? Nobody wants to deal with a partner who is rejecting them, who is defensive. I talked about defensiveness before. Who is incompetent, who is just like demeaning and just not validating you, demeaning your requests. Human beings want to feel heard and we want to feel understood, and that is normal. So when you request something from your partner and they blow you off and they treat it like it's not important, it's normal to feel like you're ignored and that you're not important. It's not because you're desperate, you're clingy, you're needy, you have an anxious attachment style, you expect too much, you want too much. If you have a request, obviously you have a request, they should actually take it into consideration. So I'm just saying, you shouldn't feel like something is wrong with you. Or I'm needy, I'm clingy, I'm desperate. When it's normal to want to engage with your partner. It's normal to feel worried if somebody don't respond to you for long hours. If you call them and they don't call back, it's normal to feel anxious and upset, right? That's what I'm saying. But there are some people you actually would have an anxious attachment style, right? And to cope with this, which I did a video already talking about how to cope with this, I will just mention some things again if you're just watching me for the first time or whatever. We need to just understand like our past experiences with our parents when we were a child that could have led to this attachment style, you know. We need to notice when we're getting triggered, when you get like automatic beliefs coming up that you're not important, you're not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable. When these things come up, you really need to catch them and reverse them and not think like that, right? If you do have an anxious attachment style, you really need to check in with how you feel and what you think about different situations instead of wondering about them, how they feel or how they think, right? And one important thing you need to do if you really do have an anxious attachment style is avoid emotionally unavailable people. Avoid people who are avoidant, who are defensive, who are emotionally immature. People with bad intentions and people who might not really care about you, who might want to use you or whatever. Just avoid them. They will just bring out the worst in you, right? Next thing is just don't try to fix them. Don't try to solve their problems. Don't try to rescue them. Don't try to change them. You shouldn't do any of that. That will make you exhausted, that will make you confused and frustrated, right? Don't do any of that. The next thing is, don't be afraid to ask for what you want, ask for what you need. We tend to think that what we want and what we like and what we need is too much. And I just explained all the needs that are normal, right? It's normal to want to have daily check-in. It's normal to want to receive texts and calls every day. It's normal to want to go on dates. It's normal to have requests. All of these things are normal. You're not clingy and you're not needy. To want assurance, to want to know and feel like you're wanted. I'm a priority. I'm important. I'm desired. That is normal. And don't be afraid to ask for these things, right? And if you have anxious attachment style, when you're dating and getting to know someone, just try to take it slow. Slow down. Try not to be desperate for love, attention, validation. Just try to take things slow and get to know who the person is, right? And not create a whole story in your mind about who they are, right? And some people, they lack respect, they don't know what they're doing, and some people are avoidant, distant, just defensive, stoic. They give cold shoulder, they ignore you, they go missing. Like, all of these behavior, you should never take it personal. And if someone is behaving like that, you should avoid it, right? Avoid emotionally investing too soon. This could get you in trouble, right? Just focus on what the person is showing you. Focus on who they really are. Focus on their personality and their character traits. And try not to get in your head about trying to connect to them too fast, trying to be involved with them too fast, right? And one of the most important things you should do, not only for somebody with anxious attachment style, but in general, as human beings, in relationship, in romantic relationship, you should have your own routine. You have your own goals, which I always mention. You have your own dreams, you have your own hobbies, you have your own friends. You work on your life, you put your best foot forward, working on your goals, working on your passion, and that should be number one, right? So those are just some tips for people who actually have an anxious attachment style, right? You could use those tips to move forward in your relationship, to have a better experience in love and in romantic relationship, right? So I just came on here to say that it's not needy and it's not clingy and it's not desperate to want to receive good morning texts, to want to receive good night texts, to like to receive gifts. You like to be surprised. You need reassurance. It's normal, especially for women, to feel, not women alone, but to feel wanted. It's normal to want to feel desired by your partner, even if you're already in a relationship for many years. You want to feel chosen, right? Especially when you feel triggered or or conflict come up, or something happen that's undesirable, or a hard circumstance coming up, or you have a hard day. It's normal to need reassurance, right? It's not needy and it's not clingy to want somebody to listen to you attentively, to validate you when you had a hard day, when you're going through something difficult. It's normal to want somebody to listen to you attentively, right? It's normal to want to have your partner check in with you throughout the day. Some people like when their partner call them 3 times a day. Some people don't. It's normal to like compliments, to want compliments, to know that you're attractive, to know that you're beautiful, to know that you're handsome, to know that they want to be with you. To feel, it's normal, it's not clingy, it's not needy, and it's not desperate to want to feel like a priority. You want to feel important, and that you want to know that you matter to the other person. You want to know that they care about you. You want to feel secure, and you want to feel safe. And that is normal. It's normal to want help. It's normal to want your partner to help you with different tasks, to make your life easy. It's normal to ask for help, to want help, to enjoy your partner helping you. All of these things is normal. It's not that you're clingy. It's not that you're needy. You might not even have an anxious attachment style. You might not have anxiety. It's normal. All of these things is normal. So I just came on here to say that is normal. These things sometimes we kind of get confused, or we kind of go too deep, far too much into psychological issues or our mental problems, or we think that sometimes it just go overboard. And I just came to say that some of these things is normal. You're not clingy, you might not be needy, you might not be desperate, you might not have an anxious attachment style, and you should not be telling yourself, oh, because I have an anxious attachment style, I always need reassurance. It's normal to want reassurance, to know that you're a priority, to feel important, to feel desired, and to feel wanted. So that's the end of this video. I hope this helps, and see you in the next video.